Hello again, everyone. Ron Vaccaro welcoming you to another installment of This Week in Yale Athletics. And it's that exciting time of the year when this week means both fall and winter sports are being contested. And that means that I need a co-host. So we welcome in Stephen Horn, class of 2010, and he's going to get us kicked off.
Thanks, Ron. We'll start with Lightweight Crew. They concluded their season last Saturday with a second-place finish at the Green Monster. They're off until the spring. Field hockey also concluded their season last weekend, finishing the year 12-5 overall, 6-1 in the Ivy League. That's a school record for Ivy League victories. They defeated Brown by a score of 6-2 last Saturday. Ashley McCauley scoring 3 points to finish her Yale career with 100 career points, a Yale school record. Ron, it's down to the wire for football.
Sure is. It's the HYP series. Yale with the privilege to close out its season with the two biggest games of the year every year at Princeton this year, this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. at Old Nassau. The Yes Network will televise it. Newstalk 960 WELI and 960WELI.com will broadcast it with Hall of Fame coach Carm Koza and myself. And it's all about the seniors when it comes down to these last two games. And I did an interview with Yale senior defensive player and special teams player Travis Henry, which you can check out right here on YaleBulldogs.com. Both of Yale's sailing teams are number one in the country, both coming off impressive showings last weekend at the single-handed national championships. For the co-eds, Captain Thomas Barrows was third. On the women's side, Claire Dennis was second, Sarah Lehan was fourth, and Emily Billing was seventh. This weekend, both the co-eds and the women are at the Atlantic Coast Championship. The men's soccer team last Saturday lost to Brown 2-1. Up next, they're at Princeton this coming Friday night, a game that will be televised on the Fox Soccer Channel. The women's soccer team concluded its season with a win, 1-0 over Brown last weekend. Becky Brown had the only goal of the game. The women's soccer team finishes 10-6 overall, 5-2 in the Ivy League. The most prestigious event in collegiate tennis, the ITA National Championship, was held at Yale's Coleman-Hayman Tennis Center this past weekend. And Stephen, you were there, so tell us all about it.
Yale was fortunate enough to have players participate in this tournament. Freshman John Huang and Mark Powers played singles for the men, and sophomore Joel Samaha and junior Calvin Bennett played doubles for the men. Sophomore Stephanie Kent and senior Jessica Ree competed in singles for the women, and Kent and sophomore Vicky Brook played doubles. Both Huang and Kent won matches against some of the best players in the country. Overall, this weekend was a huge success for Yale tennis as they got the chance to showcase the beautiful Coleman-Hayman Tennis Center at the most prestigious event in all of collegiate tennis. In volleyball, the volleyball team currently is 18-4 overall, 8-3 in the Ivy League. Last weekend, they defeated Harvard by a score of 3-2. This weekend, they host Columbia on Friday, and Saturday is senior day as they host Cornell. How about basketball, Ron?
Well, the Yale men's basketball team has finished in the top half of the Ivy League each of the last 9 years, and Coach James Jones wants to make sure this year is no different. He starts his season Friday night at the arena at Harbor Yard against Sacred Heart, the first game of the Connecticut Six Classic, the inaugural year for this tournament, and it's an exciting one to showcase all the great basketball played in the state of Connecticut. The women's basketball team also opens its season this Friday night. They do so in the friendly confines of the Lee Amphitheater by taking on Holy Cross. Speaking of openers on Friday night, it's the home opener for the defending ECAC champion men's hockey team. They take on Cornell at the newly renovated Ingalls Rink Friday night and host Colgate on Saturday night. Friday night should be particularly electric because the Cornell game is always intense, and it gives a chance for the Ingalls faithful to welcome home their defending conference champions. The women's hockey team this weekend is in action at RPI on Friday night and at Union on Saturday night. Stephen, it was some weekend at the Brady Squash Center last weekend.
Yale hosted the Ivy League scrimmage last weekend, and the Yale men's squash team defeated Princeton 6-3 to win the championship. The women's squash team finished second at the Ivy League scrimmage. Up next, both teams open their season November 20th at the Brady Squash Center against Williams. Swimming opens their season this weekend. The women's swimming team opened this Friday at Columbia, and the men's swimming team opened this Saturday at Columbia. That's a wrap for this week in Yale Athletics. For Ron Vaccaro, I'm Stephen Horn. Stay tuned to YaleBulldogs.com for all your latest in Yale multimedia and Yale streaming. See you next week.